The only thing we have to fear is fear itself. The test of our progress is not whether we add more to the abundance of those who have much, it is whether we provide enough for those who have too little. This is preeminently the time to speak the truth, the whole truth, frankly and boldly. Only a foolish optimist can deny the dark realities of the moment. In these days of difficulty, we Americans must and shall choose the path of social justice, the path of faith, the path of hope, and the path of love toward our fellow man. Human kindness has never weakened the stamina or softened the fiber of a free people. A nation does not have to be cruel to be tough. Happiness lies not in the mere possession of money, it lies in the joy of achievement, in the thrill of creative effort. Industrial combination is not wrong in itself. The danger lies in taking government into partnership. Men and nature must work hand in hand. The throwing out of balance of the resources of nature throws out of balance also the lives of men. Among American citizens, there should be no forgotten men and no forgotten races. This generation of Americans has a rendezvous with destiny. We must scrupulously guard the civil rights and civil liberties of all our citizens, whatever their background. We must remember that any oppression, any injustice, any hatred, is a wedge designed to attack our civilization. I propose to create a civilian conservation corps to be used in simple work. More important, however, than the material gains will be the moral and spiritual value of such work. Unless the peace that follows recognizes that the whole world is one neighborhood and does justice to the whole human race, the germs of another world war will remain as a constant threat to mankind. We must be the great arsenal of democracy. We have always known that heedless self-interest was bad morals. We know now that it is bad economics. No country, however rich, can afford the waste of its human resources. Demoralization caused by vast unemployment is our greatest extravagance. Morally, it is the greatest menace to our social order. The structure of world peace cannot be the work of one man, or one party, or one nation. It must be a peace which rests on the cooperative effort of the whole world. The only limit to our realization of tomorrow will be our doubts of today. Let us move forward with strong and active faith. Courage is not the absence of fear, but rather the assessment that something else is more important than fear. Democracy cannot succeed unless those who express their choice are prepared to choose wisely. The real safeguard of democracy, therefore, is education. More than an end to war, we want an end to the beginnings of all wars. A government can be no better than the public opinion which sustains it. It is an unfortunate human failing that a full pocketbook often groans more loudly than an empty stomach. The nation that destroys its soil destroys itself. Men are not prisoners of fate, but only prisoners of their own minds. A smooth sea never made a skilled sailor. Repetition does not transform a lie into a truth. There are as many opinions as there are experts. People acting together as a group can accomplish things which no individual acting alone could ever hope to bring about. Nobody will ever deprive the American people of the right to vote except the American people themselves, and the only way they could do this is by not voting. I ask you to judge me by the enemies I have made. I think we consider too much the good luck of the early bird and not enough the bad luck of the early worm. If you treat people right, they will treat you right, 90% of the time. There are many ways of going forward, but only one way of standing still. A conservative is a man with two perfectly good legs who, however, has never learned how to walk forward. We would rather die on our feet than live on our knees. In politics, nothing happens by accident. If it happens, you can bet it was planned that way. Self-interest is the enemy of all true affection. The virtues are lost in self-interest as rivers are lost in the sea. Remember always, that all of us, and you and I especially, are descended from immigrants and revolutionists. No man can tame a tiger into a kitten by stroking it. Never underestimate a man who overestimates himself. We must especially beware of that small group of selfish men who would clip the wings of the American eagle in order to feather their own nest. The truth is found when men are free to pursue it. Be sincere, be brief, be seated. Peace, like charity, begins at home. As a nation, we may take pride in the fact that we are soft-hearted, but we cannot afford to be soft-headed. This great nation will endure as it has endured, will revive and will prosper. A selfish victory is always destined to be an ultimate defeat. The youth of today are our sole investment in tomorrow. Inequality may linger in the world of material things, but great music, great literature, great art and the wonders of science are, and should be, open to all. Religious intolerance, social intolerance, and political intolerance have no place in our American life. The value of truth and sincerity is always stronger than the value of lies and cynicism. The American people have a good habit, the habit of going right ahead and accomplishing the impossible.